Hey everyone, welcome to podcast number 191.
Yay!
The 191st podcast ever. Luckily, there is nothing else happening in the world tonight. There is no need to revert to your TV or go to any other website.
Nope.
Just join us here for the podcast, and we're going to have a good time not talking about politics.
Take a seat. Have a seat. Join us.
With me this week, I've got...
Barbara.
Miles.
Auntie. Yo,
We've got a rare treat with Monty this week.
Yeah.
Monty can
Yeah.
rarely visit us in the annex because of Joe the cat.
fuck. I love Joe. I love cats, but
You're cursed.
I'm
You
fucking
started
cursed.
An allergic reaction like before anything even started.
Yeah, I mean that's my lungs right there. I'm gonna fucking.
People are going to tune in tonight to watch you die live on the internet.
We talked about this before on the podcast, wasn't it? Where when I first moved to Austin, I fucking died.
Yeah.
Like it was the worst.
Rest in peace, Mom.
Joe is the cause
Joe was
for
the
all
cause.
That.
We
Yeah.
had that small Congress office,
Jesus.
and it was such an enclosed space. And I'm trying to work, but I have asthma and I'm allergic to cats. And I love cats and I love dogs, but the combination was just horrible. It
Yeah.
sucked.
So, Halo 4 came out.
Oh.
Can we talk about Halo 4, please?
Before we get to that,
Oh my God.
I got to talk. The reason we had Monty on this week, the reason he's braving Joe the cat, is to talk about Ruby, which we finally showed a trailer for at the
Yeah.
conclusion of Red vs. Blue season 10 last night.
Fuck yeah.
We're fucking excited. It's awesome. It was at the end of the season 10, episode 22.
Yep.
And
Finale of RVB.
Season 10.
Season 10.
yes, we are still making RVB, by the way. You can
Very
go to what's the web
specific.
address, Gus?
Are
you
they still making redversusblue.com?
Are you still making Red
Are
versus
they?
Blue?
Are they?
Are
Are
they?
Yes.
they?
Okay.
I've seen it posted like 5 times today.
I think because there's credits at the end of this episode, because we love the credits so much.
They're cool credits.
They were cool credits. There's more sense of finality.
Yeah.
You notice? Everyone's like, this must be the end. And then we announce another show, so it's like, this is really the end.
Yeah.
No, it's not the end.
No,
It's not the end.
We're still going to be making it.
As
Ruby's-
Bernie has always said, as long as people like it, we will keep making it.
Yep.
So shut the fuck up.
And even once you hate it, even once you're totally fed up with it, and you're like, just stop, we'll still be there.
I'm going to milk the shit out of it for every penny it's worth.
But so yeah, you've been working at Ruby for a while, and it must be a huge relief to finally have the trailer out there, because you teased it a little bit at New York Comic Con with
Yeah.
that little paper.
We I came up with Ruby. I mean, I've been working on like the technology for the show for like years, but I came up with the theme red, white, black, and yellow because I'm Asian.
Wow. We're going to avoid politics,
No,
but
but
just
red-
dive straight into racism tonight.
red,
folks. It's going to be good.
Red,
Join
white,
us.
and black. Shut up. Red, white, and
I
black.
was thinking to myself, where is he gonna go for these yellow? Is he gonna point at something?
No, okay. The color scheme works. I like the colors red, white, and black, and you can gold or yellow can fit in there. And then I was able to like somewhere between Half a Dream, fit the 3-4
Yeah.
letters into the name Ruby.
Who on their right mind would mix the colors red, white, black, and yellow or gold together? That would look terrible.
Oh my God.
It's like you knew.
Oh my God.
Side note, somewhere between Half a Dream sounds like an awful Lifetime movie. I just had to
Or
throw
the
that
name
out
of the band.
I was like half asleep when I came up with Ruby. I was like, the way this started was, I was talking to Bernie, just shooting the shit. I mean, we were like still in crunch with RVB 10. I was talking to Bernie. I just had ideas for season 11, and Bernie was like, Monty, because he was like, we're all freaking about. Even we weren't even sure we were gonna be able to finish season 10. We're like, as long as you finish season 10, you do whatever you want. I was like, I'll take you up on that. So like I started actually taking it seriously, thinking about the idea of doing my own show, and that's where it came from. So this is like May, June-ish. I just came up with that idea of the RWBY. It's been a while. I mean, as soon as we finished season 10, I started animating that trailer.
How long did it take you to make the trailer?
2.5, 3 weeks probably. Just a lot of, it was like half R&D, half animation. So like, you know, the process, it kind of accelerates as you go along. I guarantee you it's gonna get faster and easier as we go forward, and there's gonna be more, I guarantee.
That's what she said.
That's Barbara.
I guess one of the reasons like this trailer is the way it is, you know, it's so action heavy, is because I could just make fight scenes in my sleep, you know. The kind of thing we want to deliberate on and put more thought into is like the plot and character, and that's the stuff that Miles and Carrie's been helping me with. So like the writing.
Yeah, so Ruby it's directed by Monty Ohm, and then Monty, Carrie, and myself are the lead writers for the show. And essentially what it's been like for the past few months is we go to work, we make Red versus Blue and a lot of other stupid things that we put on the internet. We go home, and then we go to work trying to write this new show.
Yep.
And so for those of you that have seen the trailer, and you saw the little image at the end, you'll see that we have 4 characters, one of which has been revealed,
Yep.
whose name is Ruby.
Her name is Ruby, spelled traditionally.
With a U.
With a U.
Yes, Ruby with a U is
But-
our first revealed character.
But the name of the show is still Ruby, spelled with a W. Just to fuck with you.
Brandon hates it.
Brandon
He kept
hates
coming
it.
up to me,
He
he
was
was
like-
the day we were putting up the trailer, he comes by my desk, he's like, hey, so I saw that end graphic, that looks really good. I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I think it looks really cool. He goes, yeah. So the name of the show's like, it's Ruby, right? I'm like, yeah. With the W? Yeah. Man, I don't know if people are gonna get it. I'm like, what do you mean? It's gonna be fine. Like, we want people to speculate, we want people to talk about it. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, if I saw something spelled that way on the internet, like, I just sit there just being like, is it Ruby?
He literally went.
And then when I was like, well, we're putting it up today, so I think it's fine. He goes, okay, well, just sit on it.
I went
okay?"
to.
And then he went to you.
No, and he went to me, and I was like, Brendan, it's been this way day one. That's the reason for doing the show.
And he goes,
like,
okay,
what
that's
what
fine,
color
that's
can
fine.
I spell with a U?
He was like, can we make the W like not as angular, maybe like, curve the bottom so it actually looks like 2 U's maybe, or maybe like we put a U behind.
It's a double U.
And Brandon's an.
Ruby. See where I'm going?
So Ruby is the title of the show. Ruby is an acronym. It's
Red, white, black, yellow.
Red, white, black, yellow. People
Red,
finally.
white, black, yellow.
Oh God.
Okay. Easy to remember.
Pointing at your face again.
Do you want to show any of the stuff? I know you brought some assets that you wanted to show.
Oh, right. Well, I guess you've already seen the trailer. I mean, the first like actual step I took in making this. I mean, you kind of swirl it around your head and you kind of think about the technology. But the first actual step I took in this was making the world map. This was actually something I wanted to do in season 9. To be completely honest, I've always wanted to build my world, right? And back in season 9, I actually talked to Bernie about like, all right, where's the geography? What takes place? I wanted to plot it out. That didn't happen.
What's on a ring world and what's on a normal
Yeah.
world?
Well, like, of course, we don't want like, man. Sometimes there's a ring in the sky, like Earth-like planet.
Relics totally on Earth. Don't look at the skybox.
Because Reach was coming out that year, and I remember that they had that awesome ass art book, and it had the big the picture of the planet on it.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome. Their rules they set up for their world, which governed the game Reach. Like gravity was like 1 point something extra times the amount of gravity. That's why all the trees are like they grow at that strange angle they have. And there's also like certain craters on the planet. My rules about the world is that if I'm making this show, that if I figure out what the world is, that geography determines culture, and culture determines your people, and people are part of your story, and that's the most important thing.
So you're saying the world map is like the most important thing?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to tell them how you made the world map?
Okay, so
What according to you is like the most important thing ever?
Do you want to pull up the world
They
map?
showed it a little while ago. If they won't show
Okay.
it again, we'll put it in the link.
If
down.
you go to the next frame, I also have a paper version. By the way, the night I was making this, everyone was very surprised. Carrie was like, "Why are you so good at making maps?" I'm like, "What? It's just a map." I'm like, but like, and then I made a paper version, and Shane was like, "What? You should have a job making maps. You can make maps so well." I'm like, "It's just lines and paper. What's going on?" The way I made this map was the first step I took. There's a video actually. Do you want to play it?
No.
You recorded this? And of course, for anyone listening to the audio podcast, we'll have these images in the link dump.
Right.
You can
I'll
watch it
probably
as well.
post this as a RT Life at some point, but this is me and Shane at IHOP.
Do you dress like an anime character everywhere you go?
And
Monty?
look, I'm still wearing red, black, and white, and I'm still yellow.
And red ketchup.
Shane and I, this is like probably mid-crunch July of RVB 10, and I'm at IHOP with Shane, and I poured ketchup into a napkin and then smooshed it around, and I was like, that's the base for our map. So if you go to the next image, you'll probably see a giant ketchup. Yep, a giant ketchup stain. That's what the map was based off of. I took that into Photoshop and started drawing it off of that. the philosophy behind that is that I feel like as a 3D animator, I was probably talking about that in the video. As a 3D animator and utilizing all this technology, our process, all these computers, all these numbers and stuff, our process is so artificial, it's riddled with so much artifice that not only for that, for everything else I do, I try to imbue like kind of like an anarchic like chaos, just to give it some sense of like randomness.
You're like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park.
Like you need to preserve that sense of chaos because the process we do is so robotic.
So to you, chaos is ketchup.
Chaos
is what you're saying.
Yes, I was
So
like,
it's ketchup, mayonnaise, something black, and mustard.
mayonnaise is beige. I don't know. We'd probably want something whiter.
This is going to be like the most
I'm
zen
right here,
podcast
baby.
with you talking about this. It's really weird that we haven't gone into discussion about Gavin's John Thomas and shit stats.
God, you had to bring it up already.
I had to bring it up because he's not here.
We got
All we have is
so
Barbara
far.
with her impersonation
All
of
we
Gavin.
have is Barbara.
All we
That's
have is you.
great. Never
So-
felt so loved
But
in my
so the
life.
important thing was like, especially with everything that we just raise in our production value, that you have to preserve like that anarchic energy that like influences everything you do. So like, if I let a ketchup stain influence a world and then it just like travels down throughout the aspects of the production, I think that's a good thing. And you try to preserve that with everything you do. I would do that in RVB as well. And that's why I involve as many people as possible, because if it's just one person, you become rigid and static. So that's why first person I involved was Kerry. I went to Kerry and I gave him anime homework because I noticed that he would just be watching stuff while working on RVB like I would be doing. We all have multiple monitors. So I was like, Kerry,
Some more than others.
Yeah.
I said, Kerry, you should do, if you want to be on this, you should do some anime homework. So I just started giving him shows to watch that we could work comparatively to. And then Miles was the second person onto this, where I would give him anime homework.
Yeah.
Watch this show if you want to be part of this.
You guys give me shit all the time because you doing animation and compositing. You can have something on the background that you can listen to and watch, but I was having to write and then like edit audio and do shit like that, so I couldn't watch it during the day like you guys could. And you would just come up to me, oh, what? You haven't watched Gurren Lagann yet?
Do you want
Fucking
to
asshole.
play the trailer and talk about it here, about anything in particular while we're here?
let's put it up.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and put that up, and again, we'll link this for anyone listening to the audio version.
Like dump?
That way we can have Monty talk about maybe anything that,
Aw.
like a mini director's commentary.
Man, the best part was the music. That was
my
like the
God.
last thing to put in, which I'm not a fan of that. I will be working with Jeff Williams even closer, but he's such a phenomenal artist. Like we get each other so much. It's great. So like his lyrics were so helpful in this.
hell yeah.
I guess the first thing that hits people with this is like the art style, which everyone calls it cell shading. It's not a term I'm a fan of, because cell shading implies this technology that was somehow invented, that's chosen to emulate a style. To me, it's just within my system, I just hit a few switches and it looks like this. It's not a phenomenal amount of technology. To be completely honest, technology doesn't grow. We just use it better. So like me doing this was just, let me just try something different. Yeah. So that's kind of what the steps it takes, and this is a first. This is like a first effort. So down the line, it's gonna get a lot better. And like there's a good amount of response saying, this is just it's a teaser, but it's almost a 4-minute teaser, which I somehow couldn't make it under 3 minutes. I just had moves in my head that I wanted to get to. I planned on making it like a 2-minute teaser, but
For weeks we heard like slashes and gunshots
Yeah.
and wolves and all sorts of shit coming out of the
one of the
studio.
first, like, because I did the animating and the editing, normally, RVB, like Nathan or Matt would be doing the editing. I was doing the editing because it was very important to me. Part of doing the editing meant I also did the sound pass. And to me, there's a certain rhythm to combat that I try to infuse, where the human mind naturally accepts rhythm. So if you have this fantastical thing happening, if the combination of impacts on screen that's happening has like this sense of rhythm to it, then the mind naturally accepts it. So that's another thing that I try to put into my work. That's why I want to work even closer with Jeff, because I made a version that was even much longer than this. And then going back and forth between Jeff, I would modify my work based on the music he would get back to us. Like down to like Sunday night, I was re-editing shots to be more rhythmic because that's one of the things, you know, everything that we put on screen, like regardless of whether or not how stylized it is, like this, or even the most realistic stuff, I feel like film is your imagination of what happens. It's not the actual thing. So like things that anime does very well, which is the reason to do this, like frame modulation and time scaling, is the stuff that happens in your mind when you actually go through just certain feats, and watching it, it should bring those emotions towards you.
I gotta say something. When you first came to me to talk about Ruby, and you told me, oh yeah, it's a badass Red Riding Hood with a giant sniper scythe, I was a little put off because I kind of discovered anime in college. I wasn't a big anime fan, but I've never been a fan of like the small characters with giant, crazy, enormous weapons. Like I never really got that. But then when you explained to me how she fought, I immediately thought it was cool because I was like, okay, so there's this little girl that walks around with a giant sniper scythe thing. How does that work? And then what you pointed out was the way she's able to swing it with such power and such force is that whenever she attacks with a melee attack, she essentially fires, and the recoil from that is how she gets around so fast. It's how she kind of flies through the air.
It reminds me of a cooler version of the gun sword from Final Fantasy VIII that Squall Lionheart had, which at the time I thought was the dumbest thing in the world because it was a revolver with a giant sword under it.
I remember when I first told this idea to Bernie, it's the same thing. When I would go through the motion, it's like, okay, so it's like this 50 cal sniper rifle. It's got a blade, and when you fire, it goes, and it would pull the blade through. And he was like, that's cool. And Bernie came back to me some days later about how I kind of always been doing this. I mean, I've kind of been doing this since like Haloid when I did Shotgun Kata. I have other things going, but the philosophy behind it, and we'll have a little bit more of it later, but the idea is to utilize motion in a way where you don't waste movement. So it's like philosophically, you have these weapons that require a reload action. So like a sniper rifle, the 50 cal rifle, it's like, but you notice every time in the trailer, she doesn't reload like always reload like this. She's also like swinging the scythe around to utilize the motion, and she uses the linear action of the rifle itself as a motion.
One thing that Carrie and I really wanted, and you too, but Monty, you're like the action master. But Carrie and I have been working on a lot of the just straight up dialogue and characters and stuff like that. And we just wanted to point out that this teaser is super action heavy.
Yeah.
It's Beowulf. Oh yeah, she fights Beowulfs. We were very proud of that. It's Ruby massacring this freaking army of Beowulfs with crazy weapons for like 4 minutes, but the show is not going to be just like crazy super balls action.
Like I said, the things character is important, yes, but that's why it takes more deliberation and thought. I literally started on this as soon as RVB 10 finished.
Yeah.
So I had character in mind, and to me, I mean, there's also a level of storytelling you can do in motion and in character. There's a lot of her character in how she moves, but we have a very cerebral audience, so I'm not surprised that's the response, where it's like, where are the words? The words are coming. It just takes time to write them down.
The words are coming.
And you mentioned Red vs. Blue wrapping up, and I want to get back to that in just a second, but I want to read this here first, if I could. I want to remind everyone that this episode is brought to you to all of you aspiring Monty Ooms. Get your own domain and have a place for people to gather and talk about stuff.
True.
Like, I mean, that's one of the things we've always talked about is YouTube is great for content distribution, but there's no community. There's just a flood of comments.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it.
Something that Bernie always talks about is like having your own space on the internet.
Yep.
Your own corner of the internet, I think he refers to. So, I mean, a ton of people come up to me, especially because I'm the community manager, asking like, how do I get my stuff noticed, or how do I get a job with Rooster Teeth? And like, that's one of the most important things, is to have your own space on the internet and somewhere you could kind of funnel all your stuff into, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you did.
So I wanted to talk a little more about Red vs. Blue, if we could. Since we just wrapped, today is the launch for our Season 10 DVD, Season 10 Blu-ray, and our 10-year DVD and 10-year Blu-ray box set.
Oh my God.
Why don't we have
Oh,
one?
we should have one.
Can someone go get us one?
I totally stole one. I just have it on my desk just because it looks fucking awesome.
The box set is so impressive. It's like a book. It's like bound, and it's got 14
Token's
discs
got
in
nothing on it. It's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. It's like 10 years of my life in a box.
Do you want to describe the description we went through on last Monday's morning meeting about like, this one has this many discs, and this one has this many discs, but this one has this.
There's a
and
shitload
Oh, yeah.
of discs.
I
That's
know
all
this
you
off
need to
by
know.
heart if you want me to explain it.
There's 14 discs
God.
in every Blu-ray version, unless you get the Best Buy version,
Or our version on
which
the
is
site.
I'm gonna get to that. Jesus Christ, I'm mid fucking sentence.
I wanted to help. I only wanted to
It's
help.
also the same version we have on our site. Has a bonus 15th disc.
I would have started with that because our site is the place that they should get it.
But it has a sticker on it that says Best Buy edition. Kara's bringing me a
shameless
copy. Can you bring
plug.
it over here, please?
Yeah. Shout out to Kara.
Yeah, pass this over here.
Shout out.
This
And shout out to
is
Ray.
This is the regular version.
This is the DVD version.
That's the regular version. Oh, it's awesome.
Still looks awesome.
Yeah,
Show
it's,
it to the camera.
It's God damn it.
Do your job better.
I've done this enough times. So it's like I said, it's massive.
We
There's
could
so
probably
many
fan
discs
it
in
out between me and Gus.
Yeah, I'll open it
open
up
it
just
up.
to show how
Dude, the
many there
inside's
are in here.
badass.
It's actually got remastered audio, so it's 5.1, and it's really
So
fucking
season
cool.
1 doesn't sound like.
This thing has over 18 hours worth of
Yeah, the
content on it.
runtime on
God.
it is 18 hours and 42 minutes plus extras.
Yeah, and that includes 8 hours of bonus content.
I love
No,
that.
that doesn't
Texas
include the 8
Virginia
hours
Gap.
of bonus
That
content.
doesn't include the 8 hours
No,
of bonus
that's
content?
extras.
Shit.
So you can see
So
all the
sexy.
different.
On the left side, you get
Yep.
all the freelancers, and then Tex in the middle, and then the Blood Gulch crew on the side, and it's fucking cool.
There you go.
I'm nerding out over it. I like it. It's really
got
badass.
2 of those flaps.
One of the cool things about this that I thought was a really good idea, I think this was Brian's idea actually, is on the pamphlet insert, if you look on the back, it has, like, we all signed it,
Yep.
Cool.
which was pretty neat. It's got everyone's signature
I don't
on
remember doing that.
it. I do. It was out there on the
I was really
We got
excited,
a
I'm
bunch
not
of
gonna lie.
old pictures from the 10 years of making Red vs.
Any
Blue.
nudes?
And
No nudes.
Damn it. Fuck.
No, there are no nudes. Never mind.
just go to Gus's office if you want nudes.
Yeah, you're right.
They're everywhere.
It's true.
So, I mean, that was worked on for a long time, and it's
Oh
finally
my
out the
God.
door.
We have hindsight on it, but man, if you think back to August, July of like Brandon and Lindsay
Jesus, man.
People were sleeping here. I mean,
Oh,
this
hell
this
yeah.
wrapped.
Chris,
That project
yeah.
wrapped, I think, in early September, mid-September.
Mid-September, yeah.
And it was a real endeavor. And it's crazy to me now to think about what a big day this is with Halo 4 launching, our shit launching, Ruby coming out, the presidential election. It's like
so
And
all
the
long.
this
Rooster
stuff
Teeth
happens
podcast.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And we were at the Halo party last night, and all this was happening at the same time.
Oh my God, the
Yeah.
Halo party was nuts.
That was insane.
It was-
So we went to the Microsoft store up north of Austin, or in North Austin.
I know it's
and-
coming.
Yeah, and we did a signing thing there with Certain Affinity, and there's some people
Yep.
from 343. It was really awesome. And we made some friends with some of the folks at Certain Affinity during like when we were shooting, like spoiler alert, the last scene of season 10
Right.
was in Halo 4, so we got to go there ahead of time, and we made friends with a bunch of guys. It was cool seeing them there. And we got to play the game, which is awesome, fun.
Game was so good.
I think my favorite part of the night, though, was the very end. So we had been hanging out. There was pizza. There was the game. We were just
We're
mingling with a
signing our
bunch of
names.
fans, signing for fans.
Signing fans
Signing
on
fa-
their face.
Some people asked, yeah, no. And we're hanging out. I was talking with Ray, and he has to go to the bathroom at some point. And it was weird. Like, you had to go down this hall that was like outside the building.
Right.
And then it was like, yeah, it's some weird shady back area, and then you can come back in when you're done. And at some point, like, he leaves, and then
Wait,
some
did
dude,
you all go out of the store?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
no,
remember-
you leave the
There,
store.
there was a
To go to the
bathroom in
bathroom?
the store.
no, that's the bathroom they went to.
But it's like,
Oh,
like
okay,
way
okay.
down this hall. It
Yeah.
was because it was
It's
in
like
a
in the
wall.
back.
Yeah.
The back.
The back.
The back room.
Anyways, so while he's in the bathroom, some lady comes up to us and is like, okay, we're about to have a photo op, but we want only people that worked on the game in here. So if everybody could go ahead and just please get out. Even you guys, Rooster Teeth, we love you, but go ahead and step on out. You guys can come back in after we take the picture and then the game is released.
Apparently only we were told. this.
Really, only we
These
did.
assholes
you
are
guys
still
were
in
you
there.
motherfuckers were still
They told me
somehow
to get
inside.
in. They were like, "Come on, get in the picture." I was like, "Okay."
Some guy that
We're
didn't like us
lower-
told us to
we're
leave.
lower class.
Anyways, so we're all outside. It was like me, Carrie, Kyle, and we're just hanging out. It was really cold. It was really sad. It was like watching inside like a happy family around Christmas dinner
Yeah,
or something,
I was
and we were just out in the cold.
It's like watching the cool kids at the
yeah,
table,
pretty much.
and you're like at the nerd table eating your lunch alone.
I'm always at the
seasoned
nerd
with tears.
So we're outside, we're just talking, we're like, hey, where's Ray? And that's when we see Ray just like fucking just strolling out of the bathroom, happy as can be, and then he just stops like deer in headlight
'Cause everyone's
everybody's grouped together, like standing together about to take a picture, and he just freezes like, where did everybody go? What's going on? And he did like he stopped and went, and he looked back to the bathroom like, should I go back to the and then finally, with his infinite wisdom, he just decided, I'm gonna be in this picture. And he just went in and he just started getting buddy with everybody. He was like, hey, what's up? Yeah, Halo 4, right? We're awesome. And they took the picture, and I like to think years down the road, someone's gonna be like, and these were my coworkers. I don't remember this lad, this asshole.
My favorite part of that story is when Miles was telling me that story, I had just walked up to them, standing outside the window, and I'm like, what are you guys laughing about? And they explained that to me. And as they're telling me that story, I see Ray and that group of people just like,
hey, what's up? Hamming it up.
just like super hamming it up for the camera.
Shout out to Ray.
Right.
Shout out to Ray. Shout out to
At the
out.
signing table, it was me, Gavin, Shane, and Ray. It was in that order. It was like the line would come in the door and go. We had these 3 tables set up like a U, and they would go through certain affinity guys, and we were at the end of the signing. We were signing certain affinity posters. I feel like man, how we're signing their great artwork, right?
Yeah.
But
Soiling it with your signature.
with our signatures, and by the end of the night, we'd been signing so long, and me, Gavin, and Shane were there. I started signing my name as Gavin just to fuck with Gavin, and so Gavin would have to sign my name. Eventually, I signed my name as Ray, Gavin signed his name as Ray, and then Shane signed his name as Ray, and Ray goes, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
So he signed Ray. Several people got their poster signed, Ray. And then it got down to the point where we're just so like delirious, like Shane started drawing trucks around Gavin's signature and like hearts. I started writing Gavin.
Got him.
Yep.
People would make dicks. I don't know.
People would make dicks. So just
I was
so everyone
not
can see,
signing. I just wanted everyone to know.
I got a Blu-ray
Blu-rays.
version of the
Brag about
box
it.
set here
Oh
next
my
to
God.
the DVD version.
So
See, nearly
sexy.
identical, but the blue band is your indication
Does
for
that,
high
does,
definition.
that, does that upset
Thanks,
you
guys.
being
Why not
on
red
on
band?
Red Team? What there's no Red Ray, it's just Blu-ray.
No, I've never thought about that.
We got a
No,
never
only idiots
once
that work on Red vs. Blue think about that.
thought about that.
we have a brown Ray.
Brown. Shut up. Back to the racism,
So
folks.
you can see
All
that
night.
they're nearly identical, except for one of them's high def and one of them's.
Don't be dumb by the wrong one.
That one also has the bonus disc.
Yeah, this one you can see when you open it up, it's got the bonus disc in it right here.
Quality
And,
packaging.
and what's on it?
This is the Red vs. Blue Mini Adventures.
I have no idea what
Oh
that
yeah, that's all.
is.
That's like I think that's
Halo
all the
Waypoint
mini,
stuff.
all the mini series that we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a wall. It's a really good one. I totally recommend
Oh, and
that
that live action thing.
Oh, the live action bits on that
Oh,
one as well.
shit.
Thank you, Brandon, for
We get
reminding
we
me
get
that.
to talk about that.
Can we?
Yeah,
We do now.
It's on the disc.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
because
So we a couple months ago we had the chance. Well, I didn't go. I was supposed to
I
go,
went.
but I got written out of it. We got a chance to go up to the Ford Unto Dawn set
It
and
was
film
awesome.
a short bit, Red vs. Blue, a live action Red vs. Blue piece, which is included on that bonus disc. So if you have this disc already at home and you haven't looked at that disc, at the bonus disc yet, you should put it in and check it out.
It's really badass. Like if you saw where they performed the cryo exercises, that was a set that we got to use, and it was the coolest fucking
That
set.
was the first time I got to do a voice in any sort of Red vs. Blue related thing.
Yes, I made you the
Computer.
voice of the computer. Sleep
Yep.
mode activated.
Sleep mode activated.
Dude, I met Master
So
Chief there.
I was so
super
jealous
tall.
because I was supposed to be in that.
As Simmons?
Yeah, the first script.
I
Simmons
wrote
was
you in as
it,
that, yeah.
And then I got written out.
It wasn't
Wow.
me.
How
I
did
didn't
that
make that
feel?
call. I like Simmons. Simmons all the way. You
Yeah.
never get to be on
Brandon's-
any cover of
Brandon's making
anything.
excuses. Brandon's making excuses in my earpiece right now.
I was trying to explain it to you during the podcast
Yeah,
in your
thanks.
earpiece.
He's like, don't listen to
You
his
all
fucking
had 3
bullshit.
months.
Don't listen to him.
You
I
all
don't wanna
had
talk
3
to you
months to
about
explain it. Now's the time to do it.
Oh,
But and I've never been to Vancouver, and I've always wanted to visit.
It was really
so I
rainy. We didn't really get to go out and do anything because we had to ship a Sarge and a Caboose costume through customs all the way to
How did you
Vancouver.
explain that one? It's just armor.
We were just like, it's a costume, it's just, fun costume. It's nothing
and
weird
mind you,
at
all
all.
this happens while we're still in RVB
Yeah.
production.
So we sent the armor up, and it was really, really badass. But unfortunately, upon arrival, customs were a bunch of dicks, and it was all cracked and stuff.
Was it the
So-
Canadian customs or the American customs?
It was probably Canadian. It's going into Canada.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure it wasn't made of drugs.
I
So
swear
they
to
like smash it all.
So yeah, Carrie
Is this
and I
made of
spent-
plastic or cocaine?
Carrie
Plastic.
and I spent
What about
all
this
the
one?
Smell it.
Plastic.
Our entire
Plastic.
day before the shoot, just sitting on the floor of our hotel room, just holding pieces together with like super glue. Just like, okay, hold it for just 15 minutes, and just sat on the floor, just like in pathetic silence. But it was really cool, man. All the props were awesome. I got to hold the assault rifle.
They
and
looked
the
really
pistol
good.
That they had all the lights on it and everything.
Yeah.
And I got to meet the dude that played Master Chief, and he's enormous. Like I don't remember how
The
tall he
motion
was.
actor or the voice
No,
actor?
like the
guy who was wearing the costume.
Yeah,
before
the guy that was actually acting, not the voice actor. But it was interesting because first they had to find a guy that could do all the stunts and everything, and then because he was so huge, they had to build the suit based off of like his body. So they did like a mold of his body or something.
Also,
really
just,
crazy.
I look at that actor. He just seems like he has like all the right authority and like posture for Master Chief. It's
That's probably why he was chosen.
Yeah, it's,
That's how that works.
That's good casting. Pass me that bottle opener.
I want to
The
play Halo
best
4
bottle
so
opener
much.
in the world.
I love this. So yeah, I have not. I was at the midnight launch for Halo 4 last night, but I was so tired by the time we were done, I didn't really get a chance to play. So before we came over today, I played the first campaign mission. That's all I've played so far.
It looks so good. That whole time we were signing our names, there was a big screen. There were several screens, but there was one screen just showing a bunch of the game. I was like this the whole time.
That opening cinematic
It's
is
awesome.
amazing.
I thought it was live action the first time I saw it.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know
Oh,
how.
you did lose your glasses in France.
I did.
so-
I was walking around Versailles, and then I took off my glasses, and I just looked at them. I go, Aaron, how long have I been walking around with one lens on? Yeah,
I
fucked
could
up my
make a
glasses.
verse I joke, but I won't.
That reminds me, you just recently learned that there's a shitty pun making competition in Austin, and you got
I
super
did.
pumped.
The O. Henry Pun-Off.
God,
Do you know what their website is?
what?
Punpunpun.com.
Like fun.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandon
That's
told me the other day
hilarious.
that the
It's-
pun off would be coming to Austin.
I believe it's in May every year.
It was honestly the best news I've ever heard in my life. I got excited in all parts of my body, and my mind starts racing. I'm just like, okay,
I think
Gotta
you and I are the
prepare,
only
gotta
two.
train.
I think you and I are the only two people in this company that like puns.
can you tell everyone your pun you made to Miles?
So
Oh,
on
God.
Twitter, while
It's the
Miles
best one I've ever heard.
was in France, he was talking about staying in a spooky hotel.
Yeah,
Why don't you tell that part
Yeah,
of the story?
so the first hotel that we stayed in Paris, I just got back. I've been out of the country for the past week, so it's been nice coming
You were
back.
visiting your girlfriend. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. Just that. So yeah, I was visiting my girlfriend Erin in Paris. It was really, really awesome. And because of that, I missed Gauntlet. I'm really excited about. We'll talk about Gauntlet stuff later, but I want to see what's
Yeah,
going on with
we got a
Gauntlet.
lot to talk about.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So the first hotel that we went to was kind of shady because we didn't have a ton of money to spend. So we were just like, oh, whatever, we'll deal with this. We're pretty sure that got us sick. So then we moved to another hotel, and it was really cute, really quaint. It had like, I don't know, it was just like this tiny little French thing. It was just nice. It was really old. But then at night, it became like the creakiest structure in all of Paris, France. And she immediately passed out, and I was just sitting there on the internet, and I went to Reddit and started going through like the creepy subreddits of like scary stories because I'm a fucking idiot.
Why would you
So-
do
so
that?
she was
Because
like-
I'm a fucking idiot.
So she was like Redditor's wife. You're there on the computer, and she's like in the doorway.
Dude,
like,
I'll tell
"Will
you,
he
most
come
of the
to
time,
bed?"
it's the other way around. I'm like, hey, baby, did you see this? She's like, yes, I saw
She
it.
loves Reddit.
Yeah, she lives on Reddit. Anyways,
I love it.
so yeah, I was sitting there, and then I started thinking about like, oh my God, this place could totally be haunted. It's just the perfect atmosphere. God, I could just imagine like a dead woman coming through the front door, and then I stopped. I was like, wait, what would she say? She'd speak to me in French, right? So then, wait, is it worse that she'd be screaming something I can't understand, or something like I'll kill you? Like, and I don't know. I didn't know what was scariest, so then I tweeted about it because like, oh, maybe Twitter can make me feel better. And then people just started
Never the
sending me really
answer.
creepy pictures, like, hey, fuck you, buddy. But then you responded.
My reply was "Parlez-vous français?" And like
That's what that was.
I read your tweet and I started laughing. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I just came to me. I started.
It
typing
cheered me up
immediately.
because I was just
my
sitting there
God.
in bed, just staring at your tweet, like he is.
And that's why you
fucking
responded to
love
it?
with himself right now.
I know. I was like, my
he's
wife,
so
my-
fucking pleased with himself.
Esther was looking at me super annoyed because I'm on the couch rolling around laughing because I'm so pleased with my joke.
and then cue Barbara in like all caps. You were like, I love it. What did you say?
I said something like, that is amazing.
I love
or
you.
something.
This is amazing.
I learned from the master.
Damn it. I'm glad you two have each other. But
But it made you think of an older story where we were hanging out.
it was
here
like
in
a
the
year
break room.
ago. Yeah, and I don't know. We were talking about something in French.
I think we were talking about the French going to the bathroom for some reason.
And then cue our great sense of humor.
And
You
I
said something
said,
like, "Oui, more like a
More like a
doo-doo."
doo-doo.
And then you giggled like a schoolgirl and ran into the upstairs bathroom, which is against the rules. No two in the two.
Funny.
You guys are the fucking worst.
Oh my God.
So I missed out on Halloween because Paris doesn't really
Get it
do.
when I read it. Now I get it.
Yeah, I get it, dude.
Jesus Christ.
See, when you say it out loud, that's when it makes sense.
No.
I like French puns, apparently. I don't speak French, but I can make terrible puns.
So I kind of missed out on Halloween because in Paris they don't really do it. I think we met 2 people that were dressed up. One guy was a Vatican priest.
I don't think he was dressed up.
Was one of them mime? Please tell me you saw
Dude,
someone
I
dressed
saw
up
the
as a
coolest
mime.
fucking mimes. They had like this Michael Jackson like dance number, but like it was like a modern day dance number, but they still did like the box, and that's all I wanted to see. Like they were doing all this crazy flips. I was like, do the box, do the box, do the box. All right, cool, we can go. It was awesome.
Success.
So Halloween, you saw 2 people?
Yeah, we just saw like 2 people. Like I'm saying, like, what did you? I saw a picture of like you and Allie and Kara all downtown.
Yes, we went downtown. It was crazy. People have told me about 6th Street before on
That's
Halloween.
why I abandoned Lindsay and Michael. I'm not just a random
Crazy.
abandoner.
Luckily, apparently it's worse if it's on a weekend.
Yeah,
Luckily,
totally.
it was
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
Wednesday. I'm guessing there was a couple 100,000 people there.
Yeah,
which I-
easy.
Take care of sick people, Miles.
I was. Doyle and Aaron were sick. Plus fuck 6.
Lindsay just
Controversy.
came in very angrily. But go ahead.
So yeah, there must have been hundreds of thousands of people there. Nothing eventful happened. We were all dressed up as really random characters, and we played a few drinking games where if we saw the same costume as us, we would take a drink.
Oh yeah, Kyle went as Marty McFly, and
He
I think you
did.
guys had to stop playing because everybody fucking recognized him or something.
Oh.
No, that was Kara's thing. Every time you find your doppelganger, take a picture.
You take a
and they
picture
just
of
were
your,
like,
doppelganger.
Somebody was like Marty McFly, and everybody was like, eh.
Not to be
okay,
confused
later.
with your doppelbanger. Just gonna say that.
Don't.
Stop.
I'm not gonna
Stop
bring that
bringing
back
that
up.
Stop it.
So, I mean, it was really fun. Everyone was kind of really well behaved for a bunch of drunk people on 6th Street.
No
I
one
saw
got shot or ran
no
over
one
at this
got
time.
shot or ran over. There was a family dressed as The Simpsons, which you would have appreciated.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's cool.
But the strange thing is that they were a black family.
Mm.
So the body paint was kind of like not really very successful.
Yeah.
Jesus
It
Christ.
would have worked better if it was an Asian family.
Oh my God, we can't escape it. I know. I like Halloween.
Yeah.
My sophomore
Did you-
Are
Did
the
you-
year.
real
Simpsons
fast, did-
Asian?
No. Did you see my
Why are the
my Halloween
Asians in the
costume?
Simpsons
What
white?
was your Halloween costume?
I
my
dressed
God.
up as a little kid, dressed up as Luigi. So what I did was I went to Target and I bought a Luigi costume made for a 10-year-old.
So you went
put
as
it on.
sexy Luigi.
And it was like super tight
Oh,
and I had like the
God.
little pail and everything.
There's a picture of it somewhere, right? on
Yeah,
your
there's a
Twitter?
picture. We'll put it in the link dump.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the problem with I'll let you finish the story in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
second. The problem with wearing a costume intended for a 10-year-old is that I got very tight around the crotch.
Yeah.
So it was like a massive bulge in the crotch. So I had to put I had to put 2 pairs of shorts on
Jesus
to try to diminish it.
Why don't you just use like a cup or something?
Because
Wouldn't
I
that
don't
have
own a
been?
cup. Do I look like the kind of guy who has a cup?
Wait, diminish it. Wouldn't
Trying
that
to
have
play World of
enhanced
Warcraft, better
it?
put on my
No,
cup.
because it creates more bulk everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I could got him.
Fucking got him. I had an interesting Halloween just about every year I was in college. Like I talked about making out with the Navi
Yeah.
a couple podcasts ago. My first Halloween was good. My second Halloween was horrible in the best way ever.
Okay.
It was probably the most eventful night of my life. There was romance and backstabbing and like shitloads of alcohol, like really bad amount of alcohol. But we were at I was at a party with a bunch of my friends. A few of my friends had come in from San Antonio. I will call him Don. That's the name.
Shout out to Don.
Shout out to Don. So
His real name's not Dan or anything, is it? Like you didn't just change one.
Donald,
out.
sorry,
We'll call
Donald.
him Dunn.
Dan.
So me and my buddy Don, he's a really tall, like Viking-looking dude with like a pretty awesome beard.
Okay.
He went as the brawny guy, so he wore
Oh, that's
plaid
cool,
all
yeah.
tucked in, and he just walked around with paper towels all night. And then I came up with something at the last minute. I went as Philip J. Fry, so I just had to go get like a red jacket and then spray paint. Well,
What's funny is you said the brawny guy, and I was like, oh, I could kind of see you as the brawny guy.
now
And
back then I didn't have a beard.
And then you
Really?
said Fry, and you've got like that hair popping up.
I'm
and
the
I was like,
brawny
I could
Fry.
see Fry
he
as
has
well.
the hair flip thing.
I have the swoosh. My hair just does the swoosh. So yeah, I went as Philip J. Fry, and we went there. We got hammered. We're having a good time. I don't party a lot. I didn't go to a lot of parties. I was like, let's stay in and play Mario Party.
It's your kind of party.
That's my kind of party.
Let's play till we get the blister.
Oh God, fuck that, dude.
Party.
Yeah.
Is that Mario Party 2? Anyways,
It was Mario
anyways,
Party
anyways.
1.
One.
Mario Party 1. Okay.
Fucking hated that game.
So
Blister my hand.
we're having a good time. It was crazy shit went down. I'm out in the backyard talking with a few of my friends, I'm going back inside, and that's when this girl comes out. She says, guys, the police are here. And I froze because I'd never been to a party that had been busted by the cops before. And in my mind was
Just say you've never been to a party.
Shut up. I imagine every like teen movie that I had ever seen ever, where it's like the fucking guys come in with German shepherds and shit, like everybody's going to prison, everybody's getting arrested, and like kids are running and jumping out of windows.
Why do they sound like that?
I don't know. Teen movies are terrible. So my first thought was like, I stopped dead, I turned around, I was like, done, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Because I'm really drunk and I'm like, this is bad, I can't, this can't happen, I can't be arrested. And my buddy's like, who's also drunk, is like, that sounds like a great idea, Miles, what are we gonna do? So we're looking around for like an exit in this backyard, and we noticed that if we could go up on, it was all surrounded by a really tall like wooden fence, but if we went up on like the porch, we could hop over into the neighbor's backyard. So like, guys, over the fence, let's go. Me and Don were the only people to go. All my other sober friends were like, bye. We jump over.
Crazy
These two other freshmen that had gone to the party, who just like were completely panicked and just didn't know what to do, were like, these guys seem to know their shit. So they followed us. So it was myself, my buddy Don, and then one guy who was dressed as like Buzz Lightyear, and then someone who's the cowgirl from Toy Story 2?
Jessie.
Buzz Lightyear and Jessie follow us. So we jump into the neighbor's backyard. We can see all like the blue and red lights on the other side of the fence, and we're fucking terrified. Like, okay, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get out of here. All right, what's the game plan? I'm like, Don, look over the fence, see how many there are. He's like, all right, I got it. He's a really tall dude. So he goes over to the fence and he puts his hands up and he pulls himself just right over the edge, and then the whole thing snaps and the fence falls forward and all these lights are just on us. I just go, run! So we just start sprinting, and fortunately the neighbor's backyard was connected to like all these woods and shit. So we're just sprinting through the woods. So Philip J. Fry, the brawny man, Buzz Lightyear, and Jessie the cowgirl are just hauling ass through the dark woods at night. We finally run far enough to where we think we're kind of safe. I'm like, guys, all right, everybody calm down, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fine. When I get drunk and there's like a air quotes serious situation, I become like alpha male, like I got this.
You're like in control, Miles.
Yeah, I become in control Miles, like I'm in the zone, the really drunken, intoxicated zone. It's like, all right guys, everything's gonna be fine. Let's silence our cell phones. And like the freshmen were like, that's genius. This guy knows what he's doing. Older kids, yeah. Silence their cell phones. I'm like, all right.
How old were you? Like 6 months older than these kids?
Yeah, I was like 6 months older than these
The
guys.
cops are gonna hear your cell phone.
Shut the fuck up. This was a real life situation, okay? Lives were on the line.
They're just
So I was like,
sneaking through
everybody,
the forest listening
everybody,
for rings.
silence your cell phones. Everybody silences their cell phones. And we went down into this riverbed that was like dried up down in this ravine. Like we're hiking through like continents and shit, just on this jungle excursion. And I'll never, ever, ever in my life forget, we're walking through, we're still all dead quiet. All you can hear are crickets. And the guy, I was helping the kid down like into the ravine.
The kid.
The guy just as
Buzz
Buzz Lightyear. And he goes, hey man, I just wanted to say thanks, man. I can't, like I have scholarships, I can't get arrested, man. And I shit you not, I go, what's your name, dude? And he goes, Johnny. I go, Johnny, I'm gonna get you out of here. And I put my hand on his shoulder, I patted him on the back. And this kid was probably like, thanks, dude. But in my mind, I was like, it's gonna be okay. And like triumphant horns were playing and shit. And we got all out of there. We made it to some like playground in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere and parted ways. We all went, me and Don went back to my apartment at the time. We're sitting there drunkenly eating pizza, just mulling over the events of the night. And we're really concerned. We're like, man, I can't believe that we just left our friends behind like that. That was really fucked up of us. I feel really bad about this. We should call him. We should really call him. He's like, yeah, dude, yeah. So we start calling our friends. We're like, hey man, are you okay? Are you all right? And my friend's like, what? Is everything okay? I know the cops come. Hold on 1 second. I'm at the party. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was just a noise complaint. It's totally fine. And it was like, this was like 5 miles away. We had run out of the party through the woods to someplace we didn't know and then walked all the way back to my apartment.
You broke someone's fence.
I broke someone's fence.
Because the party was
I never
live.
even thought about that. I was thinking of the cool part.
That person woke up the next morning, came out, and was like, well, fuck. I'm not even the one who called the cops, but there's my fucking fence split in half.
Moral of the story. Don't call the police on a really loud party.
They might not even have been the one.
Yeah, otherwise your neighbors are going to get, they're going to have broken fences and stuff, so don't call
As a homeowner, that's the first thing I thought was these assholes broke
Your
the
fence.
neighbor's fence who's doing nothing.
Yeah, that was the end of a very long and interesting night. But that was, yeah.
That's only like the ice.
That was the icing on the cake. But yeah, everything else I'd have to be way more drunk to talk about.
Oh, God.
Have another beer,
Did you make out with Buzz Lightyear?
Oh God.
I mean, Don.
Gross.
God damn it. I needed.
If only Don was here with his briny paper towels to help you clean up.
Oh my god, the beer burns my nose. God damn it. I fucking hate you. This is the second time you fuck with me today. I walked over.
I used to do this thing a lot where I would wait behind, here at the annex, there's a very heavily tinted window on the door. So you can see when people are coming from the main studio over. So I like to wait behind it. Then when they open the door, I like jump out and scare them.
We have an RT Life with Kara getting scared,
Yes.
right?
I guess I was the inspiration for that. But today I scared the
You scared
shit
the
out of
fucking
Miles.
shit out.
I was gonna leave the annex, but I saw him leap walking out of the studio. I was like, no, I'll sit here for
Now's my fucking
30
chance.
seconds. I'll
Oh,
wait.
wait for the extra minute.
And he came over. Miles is like super happy, doing like the Leonardo DiCaprio walk. And he gets to the door. I just jump out and go, rah!
I'm like, motherfucker!
And he like slammed the door into his leg and.
Dude, no, my watch is really like loose, and I jumped back so far that the watch flew forward on my hand and it bruised the top of my hand because I lurched back so
Wow. You injured another
quickly.
employee.
Asshole.
No,
Miles,
he injured himself.
Miles, you need to calm down. That's what it is.
Words of
No,
wisdom.
I'm fine. Okay, everybody's fine. I'm fine. Leave me alone.
You don't know.
Leave me alone.
You don't know me. Stop it.
Yeah, let me read this here. So we have a little interlude between you running away from the cops. Let me remind everyone that this podcast is brought to you by.
I listen to audiobooks too. Like I used to read all the Halo books, which is great. But working more, having less time. I think what was the one? Was it First Contact? It's the one that was about Sergeant Johnson.
Yes.
Yes.
I got the audiobook for that, and it was great. Having this guy read this like tough army book, until it got to the sex scene.
Then it's really awkward.
And it's just this guy reading a sex scene to me, and it was just like weird.
I know what you mean. I got the when the Watchmen movie came out.
You mean Shades of Grey?
iTunes had a sale on the motion comics for the Watchmen. So I bought that. I was like, oh yeah, it's
I've
really
never
cool.
seen
I
that.
get-
That's
It's really good. But yeah, no, the same thing. It's read by an old guy, and it works for all like the Rorschach and stuff like that. But then when you get to the female characters, like, he was like, and then she came in with her breast all out there and shit, and then she was all like, so Mr. Watchman, this is. I don't know. It sounded like
came in with her breast all out there and shit.
I am not the most eloquent speaker. Okay.
So you're writing Ruby, right? You're one of the writers.
So Ruby comes out and there's all these wolves and shit. She's like, "Fuck you, wolves."
Her breasts
And
are
then
all
her breasts
distracting
were all
them
bouncy and
stuff.
shit.
No, but that's what it felt like listening to it. Was this like creepy old dude talking about like superheroes fucking? It was really weird, man.
Yeah.
How much are we allowed to reveal about Ruby? Like in terms of people involved?
Well,
I
I
would
mean-
wait. I mean,
Yeah,
don't,
we'll wait,
don't,
we'll
don't
wait.
put too much
We'll
out
let it-
there.
let's
we'll
not
let it
let's
simmer.
put too much out. I mean,
There's names on the.
we have
There are
names
names
on the,
on-
we have names on the credits.
Fucking read.
Yes.
Go read it.
Go read it.
We'll put the trailer out individually so you can investigate it more.
Yes.
Yes.
There's stuff there to read into.
I think
Just
we're going to
saying.
be putting it up right after the podcast.
Oh, I think we'll
so.
put it up tomorrow morning.
Okay, never mind. Tomorrow morning.
Yep.
I stand corrected.
We'll see.
Dude, I'm
Or
excited. I'm
this
watching
morning,
it
if you're
right
listening
It's
on
pretty
Wednesday.
exciting. I can gauge the amount of excitement people have
I'm
about
really
this.
excited. I've wanted to write like a cartoon series since I was like this tall, so
I mean,
I'm pretty stoked.
if you given like my work, right? This is I can answer that question here now. Like people have been for years asking me for like the new Dead Fantasy. It's like I'm so busy with RVB, and mind you, I really like working on Dead Fantasy, but that's like I got a job to do, and there's things on the side. Now I get this show that I actually get to be like to govern the whole part of, and one of the things, story-wise, not just applies to me. I think it just applies to art in general. I say this, and I say this, and I even say this when I'm writing the script, and I'm writing about it. I even have like these dissertations I write, describing it to other employees. Is that the right to do something original might be like a right you earn. I mean, if you look at us, we piggyback on Halo for 10 years now.
And a
it's
great 10 years.
a great-
Just saying.
a great
We
10
love
years,
you.
but at the same time, it's like we owe a lot of our success to Halo, and it's great. And I think after 10 years, we've earned the right to do something original. After 7 years of busting my ass, working and working, I think I've earned the right to do an original project too. And
For the record, I'm going to set you straight here, Monty.
What's that?
We have our own original storyline
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes to Red vs. Blue, and we've made our own original
Yeah,
products,
yeah.
including but not limited to Rooster Teeth shorts.
Okay,
Fucking
yeah.
got him.
Okay, so
So no, don't.
Just-
I don't
just
like when
me
Mommy and
then.
Daddy
Let's
fight.
adjust
the 3 years I spent busting.
Monty is breaking new ground with our first original product. Everything else was shit, but now we got it going on.
The 3 years I busted my ass on Red vs. Blue, 8, 9, and 10, earned me the right to work on Ruby.
Okay.
That's the part I'm grateful
Okay.
for.
I just
because
got lucky.
when I came to work on RV, I love RVB. I've been a fan since season 1. I've watched the show like hundreds of times at this
No
point.
kidding.
I could watch the show and just quote people
You
line for
always
line.
have it on at
I
your
always
desk.
have it on because I believe in knowing your product, you know, and diving into the show and knowing it as much as I do kind of earned me the right in Bernie's eyes for him to say, you just work on whatever you want. It's cool, you know. That's great. Bernie's great for that.
Are you going to watch the Red vs. Blue Blu-rays
I
half
alre-
speed like you did with Avatar?
I've already watched the Blu-rays over commentary several times and the special features and the behind the scenes. It's pretty cool. I love behind the scenes
Is it?
stuff.
It's. I always find it's like super meta to watch behind the scenes
Yeah.
featurettes or to listen to commentaries that we've participated in.
Yeah.
It feels really weird.
It does feel weird. I almost it's like borderline
Yeah.
you know.
It's like, oh, so
Monty
insightful.
just,
Who was that? Oh, that was me.
But I do like hearing it was me, Miles, Carrie, Kathleen, Bernie, Matt on the commentary. I do like hearing the stuff that they have to say. Me, I'm very bad at coming up with words on the fly. I take a lot of.
I'm not good at the words
I-
thing that you guys
I
do.
take I have to I accelerate into words. You know, I don't come up with stuff fast like that.
You kind of coast into them.
Demonstrated right now.
Speaking of behind the scenes stuff, I think wasn't there a behind the scenes feature that was released today
Yes.
for Red vs. Blue, the
On
storyboarding and visuals and stuff?
Entertainment Weekly. They
Yeah.
just released an article about the season 10 DVD, and also they released an exclusive clip from the behind the scenes
Right.
that we have on the DVD.
Linked up.
So cool.
Dude, it's really badass.
And then today also the final part of that Infonaut
Yeah.
Yes.
documentary
shit.
came out.
Yeah, it starts off great.
It
There's a
starts off
great
with
intro,
the thing that really pissed you off.
motherfucker.
What?
So
what?
fucking mad.
They were the crew was here upstairs filming Miles, like talking about Red vs. Blue, Machinima, and the Machinima station. And I saw them, and I don't know why, but I saw Miles trying to be very calm and professional in front of the camera. So I walked over and I ran my arm along the table and I knocked all of the controllers off onto the ground
And my papers.
and his papers, everything. And I said, "Pick it up," and I just walked away.
I want you to know they had been there all week, and I'd been gone. I've been doing stuff for like Halo 4 filming and stuff like that. So I hadn't had a chance. I had like zero time to talk to the film crew, and then finally on like this last day they were there, they were like, "Hey, we should talk to this guy. We haven't talked to him yet." And they come up to me, and I had been talking to him for maybe 30 seconds, and then I locked eyes with you. And there was just a moment where I know he's gonna come over here and fuck my shit up. That son of a bitch is gonna walk over here and fuck up my one. And then before I could even finish it, you were just like, I'm Gus Cirola, I'm hilarious.
It's the very first shot in this
Fucking
episode.
damn you.
I love
was
it.
so mad. And then they were like, oh, let's follow Gus for the rest of the day. And I just shook my fist, you motherfucker.
I tried to
God.
leave so you could get back to you, but no, you're right. They followed
They
me
just
like
followed me. They're like, oh, this guy's way more entertaining. I
Yeah,
just
way to
fucking
go.
fell down. Gus!
Oh
See,
my
I
god.
had a different theory whenever a camera was around me. I felt the need to always do something like really stupid or really just like
Are
unnecessary.
there always cameras around you?
when there was for this.
Fucking got me. Anyways, so
Wait,
there's
how's
one
that a
shot.
Gotham?
He's implying that I'm always doing something stupid.
Oh, I just
It's
thought
a
it was
sick
kind
burn.
that's funny.
I guess that's funny.
Got me.
I would say that it's because Barbara.
Anyways.
I would say because that's Barbara's pretty. You know. Just saying.
Oh, stop it.
Jeez.
Ding! Where's the like little sparkly tooth effect
Yeah,
that you could
that-
add
yeah.
into the
W-
camera?
That's in the next driver revision. We can add teeth sparkle on the fly.
But yeah, that documentary was actually really fun when they were here
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah, they seem really nice. I wish I could have had more time to talk. They seem cool.
yeah, I love the ending though. When you're sitting on the
Oh
couch
yeah, that was weird. Huh?
talking to Joe,
Wait, I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it.
Spoiler.
and it's not
Spoiler
gonna
alert.
spoil anything that
I wasn't
happens,
even
but
there for like most of the filming of it too,
Yeah.
because I was up at New York Comic Con and
Oh, yeah.
up in the Northeast.
They interviewed you there at
They
New York.
they
during
interviewed
part
me
two.
at New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
how it was shot?
I like how you're complaining. You had a giant section
Yeah.
dedicated to you in the second
I
episode.
know, it's weird.
Episode 2 was like the Monty episode.
That
And
was
the
a
end
lot
of the
stuff.
first episode,
yeah.
when you like walk into the room and your arms are up
And
in the
that's
air,
when we
and you're
decided
like,
to hire
"What's up,
Monty.
bitches?"
Oh.
Yeah, it's like,
Slow-mo
duh.
walking.
When we were filming the Gauntlet, people were like, hey, I saw that part 1 of the Infonaut thing. Who's that guy at the end? I want to learn more about him. I was like, you'll see
They made it
more
look
in the
like
next
every
episode.
time you enter a room, like doves just burst out and you walk in slow motion and shit.
The filming of that, you know how they filmed me in front of that crowd at New York Comic Con?
Yeah.
It looked weird, like it was green screened, because I
Wait, what?
didn't it look like I wasn't there?
No.
I
it
thought you were
totally
saying
looked like
like
you were there.
we weren't really there. We
I
never
thought-
went to New York.
I thought you were there.
I
No,
was
he
there.
said,
No, he
he's
was
saying,
there, but he
he's
said it
saying
looked-
it looks green screen.
Oh.
Because it's
Well,
weird
dang.
to film these days. Sometimes I see people that they're real and it's not, and it looks like they've been green
I think
screened
you need
in.
to sleep more.
No, there's
Sometimes
a,
I see people
there's
that
a-
aren't there, and
There's a
right,
video, if you, I don't know if you want to look it up on YouTube. I think it's called Virtual Backlot. It's a company that
All the green screen. Yeah, that's awesome.
They show all of their different work in green screening, and you never would know that something was green screened if they didn't show you like the before and after
It's-
shots.
it's
Did you see that on Reddit? Is that where you?
the best
I saw it a
like
long.
Jack-
I don't remember where I saw it.
The-
I might have seen it on.
the best special
Dig.
effects are the ones
Just
you
press
don't
enter.
see. That's the reason.
oh no, I clicked on the wrong thing.
No, that was right. That was it. It was
Is it?
that
Is it?
real 2009.
You're so bad at this,
I'm
Miles.
bad at this. I'm not Jack. Oh.
It's on
Jack-
IMDb,
that's
so
my
it's
Jack
hard.
sound.
Get that up on the
Yeah, if you can make it
screen.
full screen, scroll down a little bit, that'd be great.
Let me know, Jack.
So, like, I mean, we don't have to show a ton of it, but it's just an example of like what is green screened and what isn't, and you never would realize it. Like, it's just a TV show. You think, oh, that's simpling to shoot that in the exterior. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this. This is a nice. Oh my God, that's blue. Well, it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
We
really
can
nice.
see it. You don't have to tell us what's going on.
Play by play.
A part of
Yeah.
it is part of it isn't even for effect. It's just for like the logistics of shooting. Sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes they're just removing, our great internet here.
I love this part.
Sometimes it's just like, oh, you want to remove wires or
or
something
not,
that's obstructing a
or
shot.
somewhat maybe the call for a certain actor was at a different time than another actor. Things like that.
This one
we
was
don't
pretty
have to.
cool.
Yeah, we don't have to keep playing this.
Go
It's
away,
obviously
Ugly
But
not
it's
gonna,
Ugly Betty.
not gonna
Shut
work.
up.
She's so
We'll
ugly.
link it in the link dump so you can watch it on your own.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Kill the internet.
It also seems a bit like they couldn't get, I guess, enough people to cooperate to get a scene going, so they had to just.
Well, it's like mine was saying if people have different call times
Yeah.
or.
But just like, I mean, extras and city scenes and stuff like that, it just seems like overkill that they're using.
Like
green
more,
screen
more
for it.
normally people associate green screening. You're gonna put a big like robot in the
Or
background
think of like
or
yeah,
something.
Star
Or like a
Wars or
plane
something like
crash.
that.
Yeah,
some
but
shit.
the truth is, it's like when you work with shooting, it's like some people are called at 5 a.m. Some people are called at 11 a.m. That's like a math difference. I don't math.
That's a math difference.
I don't math and I don't words,
So
even though I'm Asian.
we didn't
yellow.
do any green screening for it, but the first episode of the Gauntlet came out last week.
Yes.
We have the second episode coming out this week.
Yes.
It was just the auditions episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it was really really good.
Were you in that?
I wish that the episode was longer. I'm in at the very end.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
there's like I'm in like the teaser for the upcoming
Next
season.
time, I'll
We
bet
start
God
getting
knows.
into the meat of it in the next couple episodes.
It gets
Yeah,
really good.
this
really
was just
fast.
the intro episode, which, I mean, people loved it. It was really a really, really good start to
I
the
gotta say,
series, I think.
I was gone for most of the Gauntlet stuff, and when I heard that we were gonna be doing like this gaming show thing, I was like, oh man, like I honestly I didn't know how to feel. Like I'm not a big reality TV guy. Like I don't know. I cannot watch American Idol auditions without feeling like super uncomfortable. Like I could not watch like Doug or Boy Meets World or any sitcom that has like awkward situations.
Boy Meets World?
I couldn't.
Dude, that's the best show
Anyway.
ever.
That's not even a reality show.
No. I'm saying I can't watch any sort of sitcom that has like with like I can't watch not Seinfeld the.
Curb Your
Yeah, I
Enthusiasm?
cannot watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So you're
because it
comparing.
just- I
So to
cringe.
you, Curb Your Enthusiasm and Boy Meets World are the same show?
No, I'm just saying I can't watch
Like, what's the
awkward
connection?
situations. Like if somebody were to come in and do an audition and it didn't go well and it was just kind of awkward. Like some people are like, oh, that was really funny, and I'm just like, that poor person.
poor
People
soul.
are laughing.
Like
Um,
on American Idol?
Yeah, like no, I can't.
That's what
watch
they're known
American Idol.
for.
Everybody's like, I love the auditions, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. Don't turn on the TV.
I think like the thing about this was like I only was there for like maybe 2 days of the shooting, but I think that the best thing to take about this is that it's legit. Like
Yeah.
preserving the integrity of the competition was the most important thing.
I've
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been
we
put
were
on the-
we were very thorough about that. I don't want to give too much
Yeah.
away, so I don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah.
we were very thorough to make sure
Like,
that
yes-
that everything was genuine and that it really happened.
Like
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
there's character stuff on top of that, but it was a real tense competition. Like down. It's like, well, who's gonna win? You like down.
There are moments where you can see people. Like, I mean, it's genuine. It's like crying or on the verge of tears, from like the stress and how intense it gets.
Since I've been back, I've been placed on the editorial team for the show, and I spent so much time looking through the footage yesterday and today, and I was a little concerned, I will be honest, but now I'm really looking forward to the next few episodes. Like,
I'm
shit
really
gets good.
excited.
It was a difficult shoot.
Oh my God! Yeah,
they were long days, and we have super early call times.
Yeah.
It was super professional though. I'm really excited because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
It was the same for RPV where I wasn't involved with any of the writing or the editing. I had no idea what was happening for Red versus Blue. So I was just like everyone else, like waiting for each Monday at 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen this week. And everyone would ask me questions like, do you know who this blue freelancer is? I'm like, I honestly could tell you I don't know. I'm waiting anxiously just like everyone else.
The answer is you didn't go snooping around on the network, people's computers?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't read the script or anything. I was good. Well behaved.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Proud of you.
Proud of you. So you've only got to play the first level of Halo 4.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm waiting for this fucking podcast. We have to go home and play Halo 4.
Like we haven't really talked about Halo 4.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Okay.
I want to play it so much.
So
there are like only a few games. Like
You got Montied.
I don't have time. Like I work so much but I make time for a few games. I make time for Halo. I make time for Ninja Gaiden. I make time for like Final Fantasies and certain other games. But Halo, I make time. I don't know if I can make time for it. I was watching Gus play. I was like, oh, this is so good.
I've gotten, I think I'm probably around like 3 levels in. I'm not gonna talk anything about the campaign, but like it feels so much like the first Halo to me. Because in a lot of the later Halo games, you're with like a squad. It's very military. It's very like, all right, Bravo, you go Charlie, and then we're gonna Foxtrot and Oscar Mike. But this one's like, but
right,
this
John.
one's it's like the very first Halo where you crash. There's an alien world. I'm all myself. What is going on? What's that? Who are those? Why are they shooting at me?
I can agree with that, but I feel like the opening cinematic set a different tone though.
Oh, absolutely.
The opening cinematic definitely showed Spartans as squads.
Yes.
And how they operated in battle.
Well, it showed them as people.
Oh, I want to know
humans.
because I love the books and I want to see more of this stuff actually happen.
They didn't show very much of it, but there is some.
I will say this because it's in like the first 30 seconds of the game in the opening cutscene. Is a question that is raised in the very beginning is, did John, the Master Chief, succeed? Because at his core, he was broken. He was a kid that was kidnapped and turned into a sociopathic killing machine that is just designed to kill. Like, is that the reason we're alive? Is because we gave this crazy dude that's strong a gun.
Right.
Like that, and it's like to
think
start
he's
off a
crazy.
game. Well,
that's the allegation.
that's the question that's posed is these are people that have turned into mass murderers. That's what they are. They're heroes, but they're mass murder in the name of war. But originally the Spartans were developed to crush an human rebellion.
The insurrection, which is also
Again,
talked
brought
about
up in the very
in Fort and Adon as well.
Yes, and in Fort
But
and
they
Adon.
do mention it in the opening
I-
cinematic.
And that's a bold question to start off with. Is like, hey, our poster boy of Xbox, is he just awesome because he's a crazy killing machine? Like that's a big question to ask.
Dude, I love that.
It's awesome. No, like 343's done a really badass job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
hat off to you.
It's amazing, and the reviews are really good. So far
Yeah.
for it. I can't wait to get a chance to play some more. It's like last night, went to the launch. The
Yeah.
game came out. I was so tired. I went to bed. Had to work today. Had to stay late. We're doing the podcast. I might get to play a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. It's like I'm hoping to sneak some time to get to play
What
it.
blows my mind is that last night we were so tired after the launch. We were there until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And Gavin was there as well, and he went home with 2 copies of the game with him and Jeff. And I woke up this morning, and on YouTube, I think there was 3 Halo videos that we had put out.
Yeah.
And
Those guys are nuts.
in my mind, I was like, I was so fucking tired last night. How did they manage to film, edit, voiceover 3 videos for Halo?
They came in pretty tired this morning.
Yeah, Jeff was saying that it was like, it just like drew him in right away. He said it was one of the best Halos yet, right?
We make fun of Gav a lot. Everybody makes fun of Gav a lot, but that dude is fucking awesome. I just have to say it. Let it be known. Gav is awesome. Jeff's okay.
I like Gavin. Hey, and since I'm here, the second half of the Gavin Boner story, I'm dancing.
Which was a recent animated adventure.
Recent animated adventure where it's like I'm dancing and Gavin's like, if I had a boner for you, it's really trying right now.
So like,
And I said to Gavin, I will work on it. So like someday I will achieve Gavin Boner
God.
somehow.
Jesus Christ. God damn it.
And now we're back on Gavin's dick.
No, Halo 4. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, hey, I had to say the thing I like most. I think one of the things I like most about this Halo game that the
And
others
Gavin
haven't
doesn't
done.
remember it.
Motherfucker, Mosey, stop talking
He
about
doesn't
his dick.
remember any of it.
Just keep going.
Okay. So in every Halo game, there is like the primary weapon. In Combat Evolved, it was the assault rifle. In Halo 2, it was the battle rifle.
In Combat Evolved, it was the Magnum.
It was
Pistol,
okay.
fucking
Let me
pistol.
rephrase that. There's like your two weapons that you always have.
Okay.
Yeah, Magnum's the shit.
Yeah.
And then Halo 2 and 3, it was the battle rifle. Halo 3, battle rifle or Covenant carbine. But in this one, like, they give you all three. Because most of the time, like, whenever I would play matchmaking on the other games, I'd probably get rid of my sidearm, get like a rocket launcher, or sniper, something like that. But I would always have my battle rifle, always. And now it's like, okay, I can always have my battle rifle, or always have my DMR, or always have the assault. I don't know. I just like that it gives you essentially
Not
all
much
of the basic weapons from all the Halo games.
In the first level, and this is all I played of Halo 4 is that first level.
Yeah.
The first level, they do something which I thought was super effective, where for most
Super effective.
it's super effective. Where most of the level, you only get very limited ammo for each
Yes.
gun as you get it. So you're forced to begin experimenting immediately.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what this gun is, but I've got 0 bullets. I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah.
So for someone who has not played a Halo game before, it's a very quick, this is this gun, this is this gun, this is this
Yeah.
gun.
Quick
You get to
tutorial.
That's a good
sample
point. I
all
never
of
thought of
them.
it that way. I just
And-
got really pissed off that I kept running
Yeah,
out of
that's-
ammo.
And then towards the end of the level, you finally find like a cache where you can reload all of your human weapons.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but up until that point, they
never
want you to see.
thought about that. I never even thought about that as
That
a
was
game
probably
mechanic.
like months upon
That's
months of
well
work.
done.
Yeah, it's
Although
it's super effective.
I will say, you're on a spaceship. There's parts where there's no gravity.
It's the end of Halo 3.
I got
so, yeah.
there's several sections where there's no gravity
What
in
is the
the
speed
first
of
level.
gravity?
Thanks, Gav. Barb's Gav.
I'm sitting in a seat. I
What
have to kind
if
of.
the gravity? Okay.
Not gonna
Vic
do
keeps
it.
questioning
But
it
there's
right now
there's
while
a part where
playing it.
there's a part where you go out like
Right.
you're in space and everything's all floaty and stuff. And it's really cool. Like if you reload, you'll see like your empty canister.
Everything's
like,
all
float
floaty
away.
and stuff.
Her tits are all
She comes with her
Essentially-
tits out.
space tits.
Her tits are in her face.
titties.
Titties.
But no, every time like,
You
I was
really need a
like,
great bra when you're in 0 G.
Would you?
I
0 G's for your double D's.
God fucking I hate you too.
It's true, right? You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Shit.
gotta
Why are you
keep it
asking me?
strapped
I don't know.
down. I would assume. Anyway, go ahead.
So if
These
a
are my
guy has a
coworkers.
really like
These are
long
my
Don't
schlong
coworkers.
dictate that.
in space.
Wait, what did you just
I
say?
think your underwear keeps that in
Oh,
control.
okay, long schlong.
Well, the cool thing about that, going back to Halo, the cool thing about that like low gravity environment you're talking about is when you do like kill an enemy, they kind of like, they don't fall to the ground.
Yeah.
They kind of like tilt to the side and float a little bit. So you're not sure, you're like, did I kill that guy already? Is he dead and kind of propped up, or is he alive and like standing?
Do they ever like? Do you ever think they're dead and they're not?
I did.
That would be
No,
awesome.
I've not had that happen.
I
If
did
you-
encounter-
You just like, ha!
I did encounter one weird
totally
thing
do that.
on one of the levels. It's just like it happens in a lot of games where it's like there's a dead body, it goes ragdoll, but then it just collides with something in the environment and then they just disagree.
Yeah.
I was just running by this dead corpse and it was just slowly sliding and it hit a rock and it just jumped like 5 feet in the air. I wish I had been capturing
Fails
stuff.
of the
Fucking
week.
Fails of the week, yeah, exactly. Anyways,
Are they gonna switch to Halo 4 for horse and stuff like that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
That is a great question. You're welcome, internet.
If
for that.
only we had someone from Achievement Hunter on tonight. They were all too exhausted, unfortunately, after staying up all night playing
Wah,
video
wah.
games.
but
It's a tough
when I was
life.
in that 0G area, every time I would switch out a weapon, like be like, oh, hey, what's that thing? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's really cool. No, I think I like that other gun. And I would turn around, and my gun's like 20 feet in the air, and it's just floating away. I lost so much fucking
Yeah.
ammo. I just had to run around punching Covenant in the face and then running and hiding and letting my shields recharge. It was fun.
Yeah.
I died a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not proud of
it's
it.
funny you say that. I had the exact same experience where I swapped weapons. I was like, no, I had more ammo in the other one. Oh shit! I grabbed it out.
Come back!
Grabbed it out of the sky.
It seems a little more difficult. I'm just playing on normal just because I just want to breeze through the story real quick.
Were you the one who was comparing this to Halo 1?
Yeah.
Or was that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Halo, I feel like in terms of pacing of the levels, so far, this one's been kind of like that, but Halo Reach also, if you look at the level structure of Halo Reach, it is super similar to the very first one. Like there's your, obviously just first level, here's the enemy, this is what's going on, we're being attacked by Covenant, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then the second level was really big, open, driving around, no, that was
No, you're right.
first, okay, anyways, what makes me think of it is just like the sniper level in Halo Reach and the sniper level in Halo 1 are just super, Truth and Reconciliation, which is like the best. That and Assault in the Control Room are like my favorites of Halo 1. And then the sniper level in Halo Reach. And this one's just, it's following like a similar pacing. Like you get in a Warthog and you're, anyways, I don't want to go too much into it. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for any crazy people that haven't gotten the game yet, but it's good. That's it, it's good.
Yeah.
We had some Halo 4 in the last episode of Red vs. Blue.
Yes.
And it was the Blood Gulch level,
Yeah,
correct?
it was. It's a map called Exile. It's not exactly the same as Blood Gulch, but it looks so much like
I got a question.
an
Mal.
updated Blood Gulch.
Does Carolina say thugs or bugs?
She says thugs, some low-level thugs.
No. I think she said bugs.
No, she says thugs. You were like, I think she says bugs. Oh yeah, fucking Covenant. Yeah, we're gonna fight Covenant.
Has this
no,
been like
it's
a
thugs.
long,
Yes.
Okay.
a long
Yes.
debate between you two?
Yes. Long schlong debate.
Long debate.
Long debate.
But no, getting to see Halo 4 like before it came out, working on the. I'm sorry to brag, but that was just like the coolest shit ever. Like I remember when I got the
Was
Halo
that
2.
is that you haven't worked at Rooster Teeth very long? Is that
Nope.
the first developer you've been to?
Yep.
The first, like,
That was awesome. Like I remember when I got the limited edition of Halo 2 and it came with that bonus disc, and you could be like, this is Bungie Studios. This is what it's like to make a video game. I was like, wow, those guys
Halo
are
4 come
awesome.
with a bonus disc?
If you get the
limited edition.
Oh, I
limited
want
edition.
it.
You
forgot to
I want it.
You have to start looking for it right now.
Yeah.
If you don't have it already,
Why don't-
it's sold out most places.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But it was so weird, like being at certain affinity and like it looked like the documentary I had watched when I watched the Halo 2 documentary. It was so fucking cool.
Growing
Really
up.
was
You're a big boy now.
No. I have
For
a
people
beard.
who don't
That's
know,
it.
Certain Affinity is a local developer here in Austin who
Yes.
we've worked with and who were at RTX.
They made the multiplayer
who worked on
badass.
multiplayer with
It's-
343 for Halo 4.
It's
Yep.
awesome. They were super awesome. They let us come and hang out a lot, and they invited us to a few parties, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle parties.
They certainly did.
They were really cool. They're really cool.
They
But
were
yeah,
at
it
the, they were at
was-
the launch party last night.
Yep.
It's Halo 4 is going to be interesting. Like we've done several PSAs and stuff in it. There's a few things that make it tricky for Machinima. Overall, like the environments blow me away. But there are a few things like the major thing is now you can no longer, for Machinima purposes, first off the button combination is super easy. It's down on the D-pad, X, A, and B. And I think that's it. I don't think it's the bumpers this time. It used to be like everybody in the office had to use their nose.
Yeah, you press it
Yeah.
on the sticks.
But now it's super simple. The only thing I've noticed though is you can no longer walk with your gun down. As soon as you start moving, the gun comes up. So that'll be interesting to kind of work around. But that's like
Challenge
that's my
accepted.
problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Everything else is
anytime-
fucking awesome.
Anytime we get a new revision, like there's a new game we want to do Machinima in, there's always a learning period
Yeah.
where you're like, okay, these are the things that are different. These
Yeah.
are new constraints, but these are the new things that have opened up for us.
What was the worst game to do Machinima in?
I'm not going to answer that. I don't know why you even ask that question.
Not the worst game, but the hardest to do Machinima.
I
You've
don't-
mentioned it in commentary.
I don't know.
One that was difficult was the first one. It was
Well, I could-
Halo Reach was kind
I
of.
could,
No, you
I could say
mentioned-
a difficult one to do
Yes.
Machinima in was definitely for the Strangerhood, for doing
I was going to say the
Sims
Sims
2.
Oh,
probably
shit,
seems like
yeah.
the
Because
hardest to do.
we didn't have crazy talk at the time, so lip sync was extremely difficult. So we would just end up recording close-ups of Sims for hours and be
Jesus.
like, oh, that lip movement, that was kind of close.
Oh my god.
And then
Oh,
try
that
to
sounds
get it
horrible.
to match up. Like now we have tools like Crazy Talk where you can do mouth movements and you can manipulate all of that stuff after the fact. But back then you didn't have it.
You
so
guys have mentioned on
Gosh,
the
back in my
commentaries
day.
that like the change from churning in Halo 1 to Halo 2 because they actually churn first, then churn your legs.
Right.
Whereas in Halo 1 it's just
Right.
you know. That's probably a very big adjustment.
Well, plus also we were starting out back then, like we didn't know as much. Like also we had developed a lot of like weird quirky techniques for filming in Halo 1 that were bad to begin with. Like one of the things that we used to do in Halo 1 that we couldn't do after that, thank God, we used to call it totem polling.
Yeah.
Where
That sounds
if you
like
wanted-
the gayest sex position.
If you wanted a shot from up high,
Uh-huh.
what you would do is you'd get your cameraman,
Yeah.
then you'd make him jump and you put someone else under him. Then if you wanted an even higher shot, you'd make both those characters jump and get a
Jeez.
third character under him. And you would keep doing this over and over.
You could theoretically get a 15-person high shot with one person in it.
Right.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Because you'd have to be 14-person high because one's the cameraman
Oh, right.
and then one's
Oh, jeez.
the actor.
Jeez, man.
So that's why we call it totem polling for
That-
obvious reasons. It sucked. We could never get more than I want to say 4 characters high.
Day one getting Halo 2, I was so worried for you guys because the first thing I did getting the game was went in and just pointed the camera straight down. I'm like, can they head bob? They can't head bob.
Fuck.
What's going? Are we gonna get red versus?
boned.
Yeah, I thought you guys were boned, but
That's
it's like
really
that
funny.
feature they put in to be able to put the guns down was something deliberate, and that's like
One of the animators who worked on Halo 2, his name was Nathan Walpole. I don't know if it's true or not. To this day, he claims he's the person who created that animation in Halo 2, where they go from the guns up to the guns at rest. So every time I see him, the first thing he goes, "Hey, you're welcome."
Every time.
Every time he's like, "I did that. I made that."
The hardest thing that we had to do machinima-wise for season 10 was Kyle and I shot a lot of the later episodes in Valhalla together.
Dude,
like
that
we
no gravity scene must have been so hard in Machinima.
Dude, shut up. the episode, spoiler alert, where the UNSC pilots show up to arrest the Reds and Blues in Valhalla in those Falcons. You're only allowed 2, Falcons or Hornets? Hornets.
Falcons are the
Falcons are in Halo Reach, thank you.
chopper ones.
You're only allowed 2 Hornets on Valhalla. We needed 3 Hornets in order to get everybody out of Valhalla
Tricky
and to
camera
go
work.
save. Yeah, so it involved compositing. It also involved, we had set up a temporary machinima station in the studio downstairs. So there were a total of 1, 2, 3, there was 8 Xboxes. Kyle was in the studio. I was upstairs. We had each other on speakerphone, and I was saying, okay, you need to, because we had to choreograph the UNSC pilots on the ground. We had to have the camera, and we had to have a pilot and then a second pilot come in. One had to do like a spin. It was essentially us shouting over speakerphone, picking up, and then just dropping controllers all over the place. And it took us like 27 takes to do one shot, which was Carrie Shawcross saying "motherfuckers," and then a falcon flying overhead and Caboose saying, "Sorry, people, we stole these planes from."
I don't know if you remember the opening scene in Reconstruction.
The 50-person shot.
Right, where
Oh,
the camera
Jesus.
pans
I
up,
always wondered how you guys
and there's
did
all
that
those
shit.
scorpions and
Yeah.
warthogs
Yeah.
going around and people.
Well, composite-wise, the same camera motion is easy because you just
Right.
do the same camera motion. You just don't move it. They just had to reposition everything.
That's what we did. We shot that.
And I
like
learned all this just by listening to the
16 fucking
commentary.
times.
Who are the guys you got to come in and help?
We
with
got
that?
Smooth View Films, who's they make machinima down in Houston, and one of those guys is Eddie Rivas, who did some
Yeah.
writing work on season 10
Shout
for
out
Red
to
vs.
Eddie.
Blue.
Sure did.
Shout out to Eddie.
Shout out to Eddie.
One of the opening first shots of the best RVB DVD ever of all time is a shot of a big audience at the Red vs. Blue Awards. And we shot it on Construct. I think it's Construct, the big waterfall level in Halo 3.
Yeah.
And that took Brandon and I over an hour to do because we only had like 8 or so players available to us, but we had to fill up a auditorium's worth
Miles,
of
how
characters.
did you machinimate the malfunctioning text?
Oh shit! Yeah, I have a picture. I'll put it in the link dump. So at the end, again,
If you said it, make sure you send us that fucking picture.
This
I
is
will, I
episode
will.
21.
Episode 21
We're
of
sponsors. It's all sponsors, right? It's
Yeah.
okay to
Well,
talk.
21. Everyone's seen 21 by
Yeah.
this point.
episode 21
Everyone's
is
seen
the
everything, hopefully.
epic Army of Texas. It's the episode True Colors. I fucking love the name of that episode. After Church goes and talks to like splits up in all the different church fragments and talks to all the Tex robots. There's a shot after he comes out of his discussion with her, where there's all these text bots that are
You're like-
shutting down and then
Yeah.
they eventually fall. That was all of the Xboxes that we had, all on Tex, except for I think they were all Tex. I changed every character to look like Tex, and I put all the controllers next to each other, and all I had was a Halo 3 ODST box and a Tupperware lid to like a deviled eggs Tupperware holder.
It's a very
And-
specific Tupperware holder.
It was very. I remember. I was
I
like,
need
"This
to
is
know
the
what's
perfect
in
size."
this
No, it was really
Tupperware.
big. It was really big, so it was perfect. And what I did was I laid them on top of all the joysticks, and I had one of our editors, Ben, come over, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna make them shut down, and I'll go kicker hergert, and then I need you to turn off all but the director Xboxes, so then they'll all die at the same time." On my mark, we only have one shot at this, and I took the box and the Tupperware and I just started shaking them back and forth,
So
and
he's,
it
like,
moved
moving all the-
all the joysticks at the same time, and like all the controllers were going everywhere. And when they started falling off the table, I go, no, kill it now! And he turned them all off, and then they all went black, and it was just black for a second. I thought I'd like fucked the game up or something, and it looked really odd. But then it did the game
I
over.
thought that was animation.
No, that was me going, kill it now!
And then you ate deviled eggs.
And then I ate deviled eggs to celebrate.
That is an amazing,
eggs.
like, creative machinima way to do things.
It was just me and like 3 other people, and the other people that were there were like you and Carrie, who were working yourselves to death on animation.
I can't believe that so few of you worked on that voting musical PSA.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because there were so many choreographed
That
moments
was-
that tied in with the music.
We shot that in 2 days, and that's the version that we put up is a shortened version. I don't know if we'll ever show like a director's cut. I know I think we're gonna have the voting song on a future CD or soundtrack, and it's way longer. And you,
God, I
You
never
had
want.
to
I
sing
never
with
want to say electoral college again.
about the electoral college.
I know, because it's not the way. That's not the way I would say like.
You said
the,
about the electoral college.
I would say like the electoral college. I would not say the electoral. So it was weird to me. It's not a way I say a word.
You also
There
wouldn't
is.
sing.
I'm gonna
I
say.
also
it,
would
I'm gonna
not
say it.
sing.
You got auto-tuned a little bit on. Don't you pay attention to the midterm campaign? Is a line that's in the long version of the song, and it sounds like Kermit the Frog. Don't you pay attention to the midterm campaign?
What's funny is it got cut, right? But Jeff Williams called me. We had to do some pickups and re-record some stuff because the auto-tune made it sound terrible. Like I was so bad, auto-tune
No.
couldn't fix it.
You don't say.
And he was like, "So Gus, my concern is you sound kind of like Kermit the Frog right now.
No shit! Oh my
Like,
god!
we need to turn the Kermit down a little bit."
To the midterm campaign. Oh my god, it was fucking awesome. Yeah, no, that was a crazy fucking shoot because we had a chorus line, we had all these people raising their guns with a panning camera movement, and
I like when each person like goes out of frame one at a time when they're like going through.
it was an
that
interesting
was
2
good.
days.
Is there a frog character we can write into Ruby now? That,
We'll find it. We'll find
Only
it.
if it sings.
No,
It doesn't
that
fucking-
only sings.
It doesn't talk. It
about
only sings.
campaigns, and that's it.
And
Oh,
use
about
the word
midterm
electoral.
No, we had to listen to that song so many times. It's forever burned into my skull.
I remember every time you asked me for help with some sort of machinima scene because you guys had like too many characters to do all yourselves. I was so nervous because I'm terrible at Halo to begin with, but manipulating the game to do what you want is even scarier for me.
You did good.
So like having to like move a character this way and then this way when you're not actually like looking at the character, I would be so nervous.
The weirdest-
that I would be like, guys, I'm gonna screw up the shot. I swear, we're gonna have to set up everything again. Mom's like,
No, you're great. You did like a good handful of times throughout this season. You did a good job.
It's definitely a skill you acquire is to be able to navigate your character from a third-person perspective and to maintain like your
'cause I'm already fucked
reference.
up.
Like, I play-
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I play most games on just default like non-inverted settings, but I have to do Machinima inverted because I'm used to everything being backwards. If you step to the right, you're gonna go left. If you're looking from third person and back and
You
forth.
invert x-axis?
No. But I'm saying like if you're staring at a character that's facing like this character's facing me, if I press
Like if I'm a
right
character.
on the control stick, he'll move to his right, but on camera he goes to the left.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So in order to like match that on the y-axis, I had to make up go down and down go up when I do Machinima. Like I cannot do like default settings Machinima. It
See, I
weirds
play
me out. But now it
inverted.
made me ambidextrous. Now if somebody hands me a controller and they're like, oh, so I play inverted, I'm like, it's not a
That's
fucking
not
problem.
the definition of ambidextrous.
Whatever.
but
It's,
that
it's,
is
it's
a
I know, but
valid-
like ambidextrous with
Same thing.
controllers. I don't think there's a word for that.
Do you play
I just
inverted?
used
I play
ambidextrous.
I play inverted too.
Yeah.
And people give me so much shit for it.
I get it too.
Yeah, everybody gives
It's
freaks.
okay.
No,
I have a reason.
just
I saw
imagine
some-
a
I saw
handle
some-
on the back of your
someone-
head. Up
someone
goes
tweeted-
down, down goes up.
Yeah, someone tweeted that the other day. They said,
I
you know,
get it. I've
when-
heard that explanation plenty of times.
I have a reason for why I play inverted. It's not that one though. It's because I grew up. The first games I ever played were airplane games, like Star Fox. So when you play an
That's a
airplane
spaceship
game,
that is not an airplane.
you know what I mean, like flight games. Let's call them that.
Like
Okay.
simulators.
So up goes down, down goes up, and that's always how I played stuff.
We made a PSA about this.
Oh, yeah,
Shut
It's
up.
like a
Did
long.
we talk about this on the podcast already, Monty?
No, it's a debate
like-
that's larger than us.
Also, I
That's
like
what
how
I'm
after Ruby, like the first thing you said was, I think we talked about this on the podcast already, but one time, you of all people, Monty, you were supposed to be uncorruptible. That
Well,
reminds me.
I do get sick of hearing the same story, but you know, you do have to
Well,
repeat yourself.
speaking of a repetition,
Guess what I found today?
Oh, jeez.
They hid it from me. They hid it from me in the back lot, and I found it.
Can I see it?
No.
I was born in darkness. You merely adopted it, Bob.
Smash.
so we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon.
Damn you! Curse you, Batman!
I have yet to see Dark Knight Rises.
What?
Are you serious?
I don't go see movies.
Go rent it.
Get the go.
It's not out yet, I don't think.
I wish it was out.
Go.
It's really good.
I assume
almost
it'll be out
liked
in
it.
time
I
for
really
the
liked it.
holidays.
It made
so
me feel
probably
like
out in
I
the next
was
couple of weeks.
A young kid at the
I
movies again.
am always at my desk. I don't even think I'll have time to play Halo 4.
He'll watch it when he's at
You have
work
an
or-
Xbox at your desk.
But
And I
I
have
only
like
have
4
I
upstairs.
need more hands.
Just
Like,
put it up on one
I'll
of your
probably
need is a
I'm
lunch
probably
log.
gonna watch a walkthrough or something.
Walk a
sad.
walk through.
Walk.
Waka waka.
Walk.
Don't you pay
All right,
attention to
well,
the
we're gonna wrap up now on that wonderful note. So don't forget that the Red vs. Blue Season 10 DVD, Blu-ray, and 10-year box set and Blu-ray are both all available in the store right now and at
There's also some new shirts.
Best Buy. We have some new shirts.
in the
We
store.
want to give to the people.
Yes, we do want to give to the people. So thanks everyone for joining us. Now you can cut over to election coverage and find out who won and who will be leading
The winner is Gus. I spoiled it.
the country. But thank you for joining us, everyone. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll be talking to you next week.
I'm gonna go play Halo 4.
I'm gonna
Love
go play
you.
Halo 4 too. Bye.
Bye.
Good evening.
Six men on a quest, from whiskey and beer they all drank. With iron in their hearts, they discussed the fine arts. Their podcast was called The Drunk Tank. Drunk Tank.